Hey guys, it's another Legend of Corncast, this time at a regularly interval
What?
thing. Yes!
What?
I am saying the words!
Alright.
I was going to say regularly interval uploads.
Right, yes.
But then I completely said some other words that might not have been the words that I was saying.
And I totally have input on this part.
Yeah, he punched me in the face and said, "You're bringing me along for this one." I'm like, my face.
Well, yeah, because you're the one who dragged me kicking and screaming to play Wind Waker, because I bought the... My dad got me the fucking Wii U that came with the HD game, and I was like, eh. And Jake was like, no, you need to play this.
Wait, that was your first time?
Yeah.
Playing one?
Yeah, because I never...
Yeah, he got the better version of Wind Waker and then didn't really want to play it.
Yeah, because it's
And
fun. Because keep in mind, here's the thing. Here's my experience with Zelda. I watched Ocarina. The first Zelda game I ever owned was Link to the Past, and I will tell you, Link to the Past is tough to get through when you don't know what you're doing. And then the next Zelda game I got was the Phantom Hourglass.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about your experience with Zelda.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Going from Link to the Past to Phantom Hourglass is rough.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Because that came with... I have a DS Lite that's gold and has the Triforce on it. That came with the Phantom Hourglass. And I was like, Zelda game.
Yeah,
okay.
Listen to this motherfucker who gets all these collector editions of consoles. Listen to him. I'm very jealous. I just have a basic DS.
I have the XY DS.
Okay, you gotta keep in mind, these were things that I got because I had an original DS Lite, but I dropped it in the snow and it died.
Yes, but here's the thing. You know how sought after these Zelda collector editions are? Very.
Mm-hmm. It was what was sold at the time, and I was not a Zelda fan, which made it even more awkward, because people did comment on it. And I was like, I don't really play Zelda. Which made them... very weirded out. But regardless, he made me play Wind Waker, and
yeah, it was great.
And we got, oh my god, the first boss. I was so not ready for Zelda bosses. I got stuck on that fucking not the dragon.
Goma?
The centipede?
Yeah.
That's Goma.
Yeah.
I
just wanted to say it in a way that he would know what that we were talking about.
Yeah. I got stuck on him for an embarrassing amount of time.
I don't think that Goma has a gender. That one's not Queen Goma, that's just Goma.
Okay, well, Goma's been mostly female in the past, so...
Okay, well, I got stuck... You know the fight I'm talking about.
Yes. You hook onto a dragon's tail.
You want to know how long it took me to figure that out?
20 minutes.
Longer.
30?
Somewhere around 30 to 40 minutes.
How?
I requested no hints.
You get that done.
I know! And keep in mind, this is the first time I played a Zelda game for myself since I touched Ocarina of Time 3D.
Okay.
Which, again, I bumbled through. Because I didn't grow up playing these games.
I'm kind of curious. What were you doing before that?
What do you mean? What was I doing?
How playing Medal of Honor?
How are you? How are you trying to attack Goma?
I would take a sword swing, and I'm like, it's not working. And I was just looking around.
Because he has armor.
Yeah, and I was just looking around, and I'm like, I don't get it.
I got it. Throw a pot at him. Boom.
Did I do that?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think I did. I was just looking around, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And it just didn't occur to me that the formula for Zelda is you use the fucking item you got in the dungeon.
I mean, you only use it after you get it like 100 times.
Yeah, but you use it, but it's not used in that so specific way. It required me to... Did I eventually cave and just... I think I eventually just asked you, what the fuck do I do?
To be honest, I don't know if I was there when you did it. Because I thought that you would beat the first dungeon, and then you would told me, yeah, that's all I did. And then I'm like, yo, just come over to my house, and I'll sort of guide you a little bit.
Because I know you were there for that fight, because I was telling you, please don't tell me, I want to figure this out.
But I don't recall that fight at all. I remember you saying the same thing about the second boss, though.
who's the second boss?
It's the plant boss.
I don't remember
I
its
don't
name,
even
but
remember
it's
it.
yeah, it's like a giant plant.
Calademos.
And you have to use the boomerang to chop off its vines and attack the core. That's about all I remember.
Yeah, that's actually the entire fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's it.
the one I remember getting stuck on was Goma. And I remember specifically telling you, and this awkward feeling of like how stupid I feel as I continue to bumble and not figure out that the fucking item I got is the one I should use. But that's not really even the thing that's one part that stuck with me. The other part was trying to get the sale.
Do you want me to make you feel a little bit better about Goma?
What?
So, Wind Waker was actually my first real Zelda that wasn't Four Swords.
Oh.
And, yeah, as soon as I got to Goma, I handed the controller to my brother and said, I don't want to fight this thing. This thing scares me.
Oh.
And so, he did the fight.
Uh-huh.
And I think he did it... I think he had it reasonably down, like, doing it, despite it also being his first time.
Yeah.
But I just remember handing him the controller, and that's one thing he holds over me to this day. He's like, yeah, remember that time I beat the boss before you did? I'm like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Remember when Goma got the best of you?
I just didn't want to fight it. It was so big and scary.
Oh man.
It's a scary first boss.
It is. It's very intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but the thing I will say, I mean, other than, I guess we can, you had to guide me through how the fuck to do auctions so that we could get the goddamn sale.
No, that's how to get the Swift sale. Getting the regular sale is as easy as just walking up to the guy.
For the record, that's in the HD version.
It's just walking up to the guy and going, hey, I would like to buy that sale for like 20 rupees.
Okay, well, I don't remember that part. I just remember doing auctions.
Yeah, because
there was also a heart piece.
Yeah, you would have had to have gotten the sale before I had started watching you play. I feel like that you had gotten to Dragon Roost Island before I started watching you.
Man, I don't even know.
But I do remember the auctions. Because you spent like 3 hours there just trying to win everything.
I did those so wrong as a kid. I would literally like bid top dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that.
No.
Nope.
No, you don't need to grind 9,009 or 999 rupees to win.
No.
Which is what I would do.
That's what I did, and that's like, no, you're supposed to just outbid your opponent. Sometimes, like, do a little at a time.
No, you don't even do that.
No, you're supposed to do a little at a
No,
time.
no,
the last one, you're supposed to do it a lot.
No, the way you do it is you don't bid at all.
Yeah.
Until the last, like, 10 seconds.
And the last one, you're supposed to bid by a lot.
And then you bid, you put it up by, like, 20 rupees. And that stuns everybody, so nobody else can bid.
Yeah.
So you just hold that meter as close to the actual filling it up as you can, and then you bid last second, stunning everybody, saving you money in the process.
I think the reason why I tried to win everything was because I was just having fun.
I noticed.
Like,
It's a fun minigame.
I kept pulling out my phone going, man, he's been at this for like 2 hours.
You know
Wait,
what,
really?
Man, when are we going to like go somewhere?
You know what else is a fun minigame from that game?
It's good.
Kaboom!
I was going to say Salvador.
Sploosh.
Oh, sploosh, yeah.
Sploosh.
Oh god, there was so much
His second minigame's not as good.
I love the one where the guy's like, yeah, it's the same guy that like brings out pictures of the kids and he's like, wee, wee. Like, I don't remember exactly what he says, but it's like,
That's basically what he says. I remember that from I think my first interaction with the game was from Toonami. Like they reviewed games or something.
oh,
And they talked up Wind Waker, and that was one of the scenes that they used. And it was great.
I just remember he looked like he hated his job, but he would really get into it.
Well, yeah, he was the pirate captain.
Fucking weird.
He was also the children.
It's
He was also Tetra once.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, I watched a full playthrough of it, further than I ever got. Because Wind Waker is really cool, and I really love the combat, which, considering I'm a guy who came from Souls games, like, it's nice to see where this all started. Because, I mean, it all started with Ocarina, and Wind Waker just built on top of that, so.
Yeah, they put parries in.
Which are fun.
Did they?
Yeah, there's parries.
Oh yeah, you know, you're right. I'm thinking of like, what? How are their parries? And I'm like, the A button.
Yeah, the A button flashes. And it's like, oh, you can do the what would soon be called the Helm Splitter and the something else.
Yeah,
the
backslash.
backslash.
It's like as soon as they ready an attack, and I'm just like...
Yeah, things that got moved over to Twilight Princess. But you had to learn them.
Yeah.
And they expanded on them a little bit in Twilight Princess. Problem is that they're not necessary, which kind of sucks.
I mean, the 2 pairs are great, but
Like most of the combat options in Twilight Princess don't really do much. But anyway.
So, a lot of people were like turned off from Wind Waker when it first came out because we're like, hey, that doesn't look like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. I'm not buying that.
Oh, yeah, that was not me. You see, I was under the mindset like, oh man, I really love Ocarina of Time. I am definitely the mark here. I will definitely play this game because it's a Zelda game. I don't care what it looks like.
This was my third, obviously, because, I had Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. So this was my third Zelda game. It's also my third favorite. Yeah, I think its art style and is what sets it apart, and it's got one of the best stories in the series. It's also got the best Ganondorf, if you ask me.
I'd agree.
He's cool. In what other game does Ganondorf smack Zelda?
Fair. I mean, he does backhands to people.
He backhands everybody, makes everybody's bitch in this game.
He's kind of nothing in Twilight Princess for the most part.
That's kind of his role.
And guess what? I'll agree. I'll agree with you, but we'll talk about that in that episode.
Yeah.
He gets the power, the fourth power of the Triforce, the power to hijack the plot.
Yeah, he just kind of takes over from Zant. But, no, I love... when I originally saw Wind Waker, because of course my cousins got it, I remember being confused. Because it didn't look like Ocarina.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, of course I didn't have opinions on it, because I wasn't following games at the time. I just saw it and was like, this looks weird and different. And now, as a art lover and just all around like creative type, man, Wind Waker is the most beautiful Zelda game. It's going to hold up for the rest of time.
Also because the tech demo for Wind Waker, it wasn't like called that at the time.
Oh, you're talking about the Space World?
Yeah, it didn't promote.
Space World 2000?
It didn't promote like Wind Waker at all.
No.
It promoted something different.
Space World 2000 is probably the worst thing that happened to Wind Waker.
Yeah, that's why people were just like, hey, this is not what you promoted in any way. We were like looking at a sword fight with Link and Ganon.
Yeah, no, it was basically Ocarina of Time, but with like almost Twilight Princess levels of detail.
Oh.
And that was what they showed off. And then I think it was Aonuma. He's like, yeah, no, I don't really like this too much.
Mm-hmm. It was
Change
cheesy.
the art style. And then we got Wind Waker. One of the most beautiful GameCube games.
Just to say, thank God we
This
did.
was the first game we got the King of Hyrule in, I'm pretty sure.
As an actual character?
Like an actual developed character.
Yeah.
I mean, they mention him a few times in...
Like with plot.
They mention him a few times in offhand things, like the manual and whatnot, in other games.
If we're not including the CDI games.
We're not including the CDI games.
You're
Those things are not on my mind.
They aren't made by Nintendo, so we're not worried about them.
But, I mean, they do talk about him, but maybe I'm thinking of the Prince. I don't
They
really
talk
know.
about how Ganondorf killed him in Ocarina of Time, I think. Do they blatantly say that in Ocarina of Time?
Oh wait, they do mention Zelda does mention her father, who was presumably the king, but there's no outright statement that Ganondorf killed the king.
They say that he betrayed the king. So if you want to think about it, he killed him.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Ganon to do it. But...
Yeah, the king was that knight in the back alley in Ocarina of Time that dies. The missable cutscene.
I never saw that once.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
After you meet Ganondorf for the first time, but before you pull the sword, there is a guard in the back alley, in a place you never go to anyway, because there's nothing back there ever in the game. And if you talk to him, he'll say something about like, "Oh, protect Zelda, bleh, I'm dead."
Yeah, there's an actual like unique animation of him dying, and it's nowhere else in the game.
And then if you try to interact with him further, it just Navi's like, he's not moving anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this only happens right after you meet Ganondorf.
Like, we're talking like when Ganondorf
When you see...
is it before you get the Ocarina of
If
Time?
you go and draw the Master
You can
Sword,
get the Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
But if you draw the Master Sword...
you can't see it again.
But what's the length of time? You're saying when you meet Ganondorf, is that when you see him through the window?
No.
Okay.
After... When you meet Ganondorf proper. Like, when he actually talks to you.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Wow, that's interesting.
When he chases after Zelda and Impa.
Yeah, that's the part that I was thinking of.
Because he's trying to get the Triforce.
Yeah, it is a
working.
very, very tight window that has nothing to do with Wind Waker.
Yeah, I never would have thought to, because you have to go back into Castletown, don't you?
Yeah, you go back into Castletown.
Oh, right, in order to get to the
But
Temple
you would
of Time.
go to the Temple of Time and you wouldn't, like,
Search.
fumble around in the back alley.
Yeah, I definitely didn't do that, because I wanted the fucking Master Sword and I wanted to be an adult.
Mm-hmm. Which is exactly what Ganondorf wanted you to do.
And never see the knight who tells you nothing of use.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, that character's not in Wind Waker.
That's true.
Ganondorf is in Wind Waker.
The knight isn't.
No, he could be somewhere.
No.
No, if he is, he's underwater.
Yeah, he got
Is Impa
washed
in
away.
there? No, she's not. Unfortunately not.
I mean, there's a what is it? A stained glass picture of her,
Yeah.
but that is it.
Oh yeah, because the sages are in the
Mm-hmm.
one area.
Or
Hyrule Castle.
the Sheikah aren't even a thing in Wind Waker.
The one
The
area.
Sheikah aren't a thing in a lot of games.
And they're like the coolest tribe, in my opinion, in Zelda.
There's usually
I'd say
only one
the-
of them.
I'd say the...
They're the most advanced tribe in all of Hyrule.
Are they?
Yes!
Are they really?
I would say the Gerudo are the most interesting.
No. They're rich, that's about it.
Because,
They're
like,
not rich.
Yes, they are.
who, the Gerudo?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, that's kind of the whole driving point behind Ganondorf's supposed plotline in Wind Waker.
They're rich and Breath
Is
of
that
the
they're
Wild.
not rich.
Are
And they are, in
really-
fact, very poor, and they have to live in the desert.
They're not rich in Breath of the Wild. They're
They
just
sell a lot
cut
of
off.
gems.
Oh, well, they live in the desert.
Have you seen the way they dress?
Yeah, they're a whole society of women. That's almost sexist. That's not
They all
right.
wear gems.
They're just calicos.
They
That's
live
it.
in the
Okay,
desert.
Wind Waker.
You're the one who brings these things up, and then you're like, no. But
Anyway, gems are easy to find in the desert. That's my point.
So they're rich.
Well, if they let more people in, they probably sell more of them, and then they would be rich.
anyway,
Right.
there is no Gerudos aside from Ganondorf in Wind Waker. There are 3 Gorons.
There's Gorons?
There's 3 of them, yes.
Yes.
They are a trading quest. It is bad.
Oh,
The
God.
lack
now
of
I
tribes
remember
is
that.
really a thing.
Well, it's because the Zora got turned into the Rito.
Yeah, we were introduced to them in this game too.
The Rito are super cool.
And they're also,
Right.
apparently Rito is essentially bird in Japanese.
Are you fucking kidding?
So it's like, if you switch it around, it's Tori. And that
Oh.
somehow turns into bird.
Okay, yeah.
It's something I saw on the Twitter.
It's lazy, but whatever. I mean,
I always assumed they were named after Rudo.
Yeah.
that's what I thought, too.
Then there's one Zora and one Kokiri.
Well, to be fair, Hyrule.
But they are both very much dead.
To be fair, Hyrule is flooded.
I mean, it is. Everybody ran in the mountains.
Where the hell is the Goron gonna be?
Well, Gorons can live underwater.
They can?
They can.
Gorons can't swim. Have you played Majora's Mask?
Have you played Twilight Princess? Your favorite game. There is a Goron who
Yeah.
hangs out underwater in Zora's domain.
Yeah, he's
because
inside of a rock.
Because he cannot leave.
He's inside of a rock.
Yes, he was inside of a rock. Because he was chilling in a volcano at one point.
Well, you know Gorons are different.
And now he just lives underwater.
Gorons are different in every
But
game.
is you said he lives in a rock. Does he come out of the rock?
No, he doesn't live in the rock. So what happens is there's a volcano. Of course there is.
Yes.
And he was just chilling in the lava, I think. I don't remember how it goes. But anyway, the volcano erupts. He is launched into Zora's domain.
Uh-huh.
And then you get some water bombs and you free him. And he just kind of hangs out in...
Just
underwater.
just
Just underwater. And he's just like, man...
That's right, I forgot about that.
He's just like, man, this is kind of weird, but whatevs. I live here now.
Damn, all the Gorons are just living underwater. And
Yeah, no.
They drown in Majora's Mask.
I think they don't necessarily drown. It's just they didn't really program a way for them to get out.
Maybe. That could be it.
Because you see, once you go in there, once you drop in the water in Majora's Mask, you basically live under there now, and you can't leave. Because you can't take your mask off underwater. Unless it's a Zora mask.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But anyway.
They can swim.
Yeah, so there's 3 Gorons who are awful. Because they're a part of a trading quest, and you don't have to do it.
Oh.
But if you want to, quote-unquote, 100% the game, you do need to expand this dude's shop.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has a heart piece or something?
Magic armor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, if you finish his shop, you get magic armor, and you can just glow.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Cool.
And you can also get a golden statue of the Eskimo.
Oh, that's worth it.
You can also get a golden statue of Tingle.
That is worth it.
That it is. But you have to, don't you have to do the Knuckle side quest?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in each of the 5 dungeons, there's a secret bombable place. And in the original, you would use the Tingle Tuner, and Tingle would tell you, hey, there's something over there. I'm going to spend your money on bombs. Because your friend is an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you would bomb it, and then you would get the 5 Tingle pieces, and you would reunite Tingle and his brothers.
Who he makes slaves.
Okay, only one of his brothers he made into a slave. The other one was some guy who washed up on his island. He's not even a Tingle brother. He's just some guy. You're looking confused.
Yeah!
So you got Tingle, right?
Yeah.
His brother Knuckle.
Okay.
Their brother Ankle.
Is this established in Majora, or is this
No, this is
No.
new.
Okay.
And then, the final piece of the puzzle, David Jr. David Jr. just washed up on his island one day and was forced into servitude.
Oh, good.
Because that's the way Tingle rolls.
Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Also, this Tingle is somehow the same Tingle from Majora's Mask.
Are those different timelines?
They are different timelines.
I mean,
But
I'm
there
not
are-
saying that's impossible.
Also, when you first find him, he's in jail.
He is in jail.
Yes.
Probably for horny crimes.
Yes, I do know that.
But he will remark about things that happened in Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning this Tingle has transcended time. And I like to believe he is the same Tingle that you find in Minish Cap,
Oh my
which
God.
takes place before Ocarina of Time.
You know, I just realized this is also Beetle's first game.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time they put Beetle in a game.
Beetle's cool.
And then he gets super buff.
I have not experienced that yet. I've watched a playthrough of Skyward Sword, but I have not experienced it
And he
yet.
can shoot bombs at his ship.
Yeah, and then he's just like, I'm out of here. I don't like you.
I was I was glad that I played Wind Waker enough to see some of these characters, so that when Beetle showed up in Breath of the Wild, that actually meant something to me.
Let's
But
see.
anyway.
Are we going to talk about things we don't like about the game?
I mean, a lot of the things I didn't like about the game, they fixed in HD, so...
I don't really care for the game's dungeons.
The only dungeon I don't like is the wind one.
I don't like the Wind Temple either. That's my least favorite. My favorite is the Earth Temple.
The Earth Temple's good.
I love it. It's very unique, and it's the way you do... Because Makar makes the Wind Temple very annoying.
Yeah.
But Medley makes the Earth Temple really great.
Yeah. It's weird,
It's
very
weird how that
weird.
works.
considering they are essentially the same character.
They're essentially...
Oh God, I'm remembering the Wind Temple.
Because they're both companion dungeons.
Wait, did I do them?
No.
No.
No, because you stopped at Temple of the Gods. Or Tower of the Gods.
Which that's...
right.
I think that's
didn't
the
even
next
get the-
best dungeon.
I didn't even get the fucking Master Sword.
Really? You think Tower of the Gods is like the
That's
next...
my next favorite.
Uh,
After that, it would probably the one Dragon Roost Cabin.
I want to say Tower of the Gods is maybe mid-tier for me, because like the first whole segment of, just cruise on the boat, it's like
That part is annoying.
that
and
part...
there's no wind speed in there either.
Yeah, you just cruise. Speaking of cruising, so first time I played it, I bought the sail, brought it back, didn't know how to equip it, so I followed the arrow, which I didn't know at the time was telling me where the wind was going. I just thought it was, here's the next objective. So I pointed towards Dragon Roost Island and held the R button. All the way from Windfall.
Oh, that's so slow.
And I'm sitting like, this can't be right. How do I use the sail?
You put it on, you're like, holy shit, this is much faster.
It was just like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, no. What? Then again, I was also like 8? Would I have been 8 at the time? 8, 9?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was dumb. I was a stupid child.
At that time, I was... At that age, anyway, not time, but that age, I was playing Silver for the first time and then painting a really shitty Quilava with my grandmother. That painting is still at my mom's, and it is a piece of trash. Quilava...
On the fridge.
I put its ear, like... Because it shows its ear, but I kept saying, like... My grandma tried to put it in, like, the right place, because parts of it didn't work out, because I was the one who drew it. And I was like, no, the ear goes there, because it's where it's in relation to, like, its paw or something. And so its ear is, like... This is the head. The ear's, like, over here. So, yeah, being 9, you're not smart.
Yeah. I want to see this picture now.
I'd have to get back and I'd have to contact my mother again, and that's just not going to happen right now.
But yeah, so...
let's talk about how there's a stealth section right at the beginning of the game.
No, that was beautiful.
I couldn't get past that my first time playing it as a kid for like 2 days.
That was fine.
But
I was also in my 20s.
I thought I did decent at it. I remember doing it before going to school one day. So I think I did it all in like maybe a half an hour or so.
I was stuck out. I was just like, that was my first time ever doing something stealthily. It wasn't like the courtyard in Ocarina of Time. It was like, hey,
no,
you have
this
to
one
crawl
you
in
actually
a
had to
barrel.
do. Yeah, you had to like Metal Gear Solid your way through.
Yeah, it's like you got to crawl in a barrel.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. A little frustrating.
Stealth in my Zelda game.
I mean, there's always at least one stealth segment in the 3D games.
Yeah.
Until you play Skyward Sword and they go
Silent
ham
Realm.
with it.
God, I just remember what the stealth section is.
Can't wait to do that again.
I do not.
3 times I think you have to do it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, and then there's additional stealth scenes. Because why not?
What are we talking about, Skyward Sword?
Yeah, there's more than just the Silent Realms.
I don't even know what that is.
To the stealth scenes where you get chased by the Guardians, and it's
Yeah.
awful.
Oh, that's the one where you collect Tears of Light or whatever?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what they're called in Twilight Princess.
I think they're also Tears of Light.
Is that what they're
Skyward
called?
Sword. I don't know.
Man, we're talking about Skyward Sword, so...
Alright, well, we're talking about Wind Waker right now.
But yeah, so I don't know. You want to do a rundown of the bosses, like we did?
We haven't talked about the King of Red Lions yet.
Okay, we can do that too.
He's a boat.
He's also a lion and doesn't have a sail.
He's also a king.
That too.
And he can also do sick jumps in the water.
It's crazy.
You can jump over sharks. That's when the Zelda franchise jumped the shark.
The pea hats scared the living hell out of me.
Pea hats were terrifying. No, those are sea hats.
Sea hats?
Yeah.
What?
Sea hats are enemies in the water. You remember the pea hats from Ocarina of Time when you walk out into Hyrule Field and there's that giant plant that just flies at you with like...
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
That's a pea hat.
Yeah.
A sea hat is that, but in the water.
That sounds awful.
No, you see Link puts on a hat while he's at sea.
And then he goes pee. I get it. Yeah, the joke.
Fun fact, the sharks are named George.
They're actually called Georg?
Yeah, George. Like the boss from Majora's Mask.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they're Georgs.
Damn.
I hate them.
Yeah, no, they're literally...
Georg got a massive downgrade.
Their literally sole purpose is just to knock you out of your boat and slow down progression.
They can't even do that in Wind Waker HD.
Wind Waker HD actually made the game a lot better.
The swift sail makes you outpace them. So whenever they go to attack you, if you're moving at full speed, they miss.
Not only that, the grappling hook, the bombs, and I think the Wind Waker are on the D-pad.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was really annoying to have to switch your items.
You had to press pause just about as much as you did in the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Maybe not that much, but you did.
At least with the Swift Sail, you didn't have to play the Song of Winds, the Requiem of Wind anymore.
Yeah.
Unless it was in a dungeon or something. Unless it was mandatory.
Okay, so we've already talked about Goma.
We talked a little bit about Calodamos.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
In the Forbidden Woods?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the Forbidden Woods from Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Wait, no, is that Bloodborne?
It's all of them.
Yeah.
Well, there's woods. There's a forest in all of them. We just don't talk about it.
Let's see. Then you got what was Bongo Bongo's descendant name?
I don't know, but he shoots lasers at you.
Oh Jesus!
And he has hands with eyeballs.
Did I actually?
It was like Godin or something like that.
There's no water dungeon, which pissed me off. I don't know why that was cut.
No.
Why
the
would
water dungeon can stay away. The world of the water.
I was gonna say the fucking world.
That would have
is
been
the
weird
water
having
dungeon.
a water dungeon in Wind Waker, because like literally the world is water.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a water dungeon in Phantom Hourglass?
There was the Temple of the Ocean King. I don't know if it was. I don't think anything was like specifically water themed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fuck Phantom Hourglass.
So what were you saying about Godin? Are you asking if you got to him or whatever?
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, you pulled into Tower of the Gods and you're like, well, I'm gonna go home and get something to eat. And
Well,
then you
probably
left.
because it was late or something.
It was like 5 o'clock and you're like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and then I just never touched it again.
I don't blame you. Tower of the Gods is a fine place to stop.
I mean,
You got to see the cutscene of putting the orbs into place, and that was good enough.
oh yeah, because they all blow up, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Let's see. Then
Forsaken Fortress with the...
Helmarok King,
which is a really good boss fight.
also somehow related to the Helm Store King.
And Phantom Ganon, but he's a mid-boss.
There's a Phantom Ganon?
Yes.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's blue.
That's weird.
He's like turquoise or
He's a
something.
giant sword that has Japanese writing on it.
I don't think it's
awkward.
Japanese. I think it's Hylian.
I was gonna say it's probably Hylian.
And I think it comes out to Kippur Gabor or whatever, the two blacksmiths from Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow
Okay, that makes no sense.
somehow they're involved in this. I don't know how.
Awesome guys. They make you a really good sword. It's
Is
alright,
it
actually.
this? What sword is it?
It's the
The
Gilded.
Gilded sword.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Third best sword in the game.
Cool.
Is it the third best?
Yeah, that's the Great Fairy sword after that, and then the Fierce Deity sword.
Oh, well,
The only thing I know about the Fierce Deity sword is that it makes the game a joke.
it does, but you can only use it in 4 rooms. So
Well, but you can use it to fight bosses, including Majora.
actually, it makes some bosses significantly harder.
Really?
Yeah, fighting George with Fierce Deity, bad idea.
I mean, you can just fire laser beams at him.
You can, but it's a bad idea. It doesn't
Why?
work as well as you think it does.
I think fighting Goat would be a lot tougher.
Goat's a lot tougher because Goat's a moving target.
Yeah.
The Odalawa is easier than hell.
He's dead in like 8 seconds.
Yeah, you walk in, he's dead.
Twin Mold was like...
Twin Mold, it's easier just to fight him with the Giant's Mask.
Yeah, okay. Wind Waker.
Yeah.
You're getting really off topic.
It's because I'm here.
So let's see. After Helmarok
Forsaken,
King,
you got the giant pig.
you got
the giant ghost pig.
Jahala.
Jahala. I was not going to guess that. I don't know the names of the bosses in this game.
I only know because I spent a lot of time on the Zelda wiki back in the day. But yeah, Jahala is a big Poe made of smaller Poes.
Yes.
And
That's actually a really uniquely designed boss.
and you so you stun him with light,
Yep.
making him tangible, and then you pick him up and you throw him into spikes,
Yes, and then,
and he explodes into smaller Poes.
and then you great spin the tiny pose to death
Yes,
until they're all dead.
And
it's
they-
so satisfying.
they die like Pikmin.
And it's awful when you great spin and then you're dizzy and there's one Poe left and you have to do the whole cycle again.
Yeah,
That happens to me all the time. There's one left.
and then you get Mulgara, who
That
is
is a name I recognize.
he is a big sandworm.
He has a giant dick that comes out. You
It's a
have to hook-
tongue.
and you have to hook shot it.
You hookshot his tongue and that stuns him, and then you slash the crap out
Well, it
of
looks
him.
like a dick.
And then he's got one of the most bitchin' themes. It is so good.
It is pretty good. I think it was reused in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I think it is because you fight the
The Molduga.
I don't think it was reused, but it was like rehashed.
I think it was remixed.
It rehashed or remixed.
That's why I recognize that name, because of the fucking Moldugas from Breath of the Wild. When you're
Yeah.
It's one of the best themes of the game.
Oh, it's so good.
That and Ganondorf's theme. when you fight him.
And then, yeah, you go on, after you've put the 2 sages in their place, you get the,
You gotta go on a collectathon.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I've
That
heard
was made
stories.
so much easier in the remake.
yeah, in the original one, you had to find 7 charts, and then pay Tingle to decipher each of the charts.
Ugh.
Tingle's like, yeah, I know the world's at risk, but I'm gonna get rich, and you're gonna pay me to decipher all
And it's not cheap. It's 398 rupees.
specifically.
A pop.
Specifically. That's why I love
Granted,
Tingle.
this is the game that's like, yo, you want to just carry 5,000 rupees around at any given time?
There's a reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tingle makes a mint,
Mm-hmm.
and you find 7 chunks of cheese that fuse to make the Triforce of Courage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So you're not chosen by the gods to wield the Triforce of Courage in this game.
No, you literally just show up and you're like,
You're
yo,
forced.
give me the Triforce. And
Because you're not old enough to wield it.
they're like, yo.
So you're forced.
The gods are like, yo, no. And then you go on a quest and you're like, fine, I'll just make my own Triforce with these pieces of cheese.
Fuck the gods. I'm taking action in my own hands.
I mean, to be fair, you do the same thing as Zelda 1.
Yeah, but that's not a Triforce for you. That's a Triforce.
You're getting the Triforce to rescue Zelda.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you restore the...
Which essentially is you do that in Wind Waker.
You restore the Triforce of Wisdom and not the Triforce of Courage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
I mean, he's not wrong, essentially, because you are
And
getting
no-
the Triforce of Courage to rescue Zelda.
It's the same plot, yeah.
Yeah.
Except
it's-
except they were like, yo, what if we put this chunk of the Triforce on a ghost ship
Oh my God.
that shows up in different places on the map depending on the moon cycle? By the way, no, they don't put that there. They put a chart on the ghost ship.
Oh.
And you need a chart to find the ghost ship.
Yep.
Because if you find the ghost ship without the chart, you go through it.
Yep.
Oh.
But if you have the chart, you can activate the... It's mostly just an enemy rush. And then your reward is giving Tingle 400 rupees.
Yeah. Which there's a ton of rupees next to that chest. Make sure you collect them before you open that chest.
Yeah, because if you open that chest, you're booted out. They just say, nope, you're gone. And, yeah, so what Wind Waker HD did was, like, instead of collecting 7 shards, I think you collect 3?
You collect 3, and the other, most of them are shards, and then there's like a couple shards.
Yeah, in the places where there would have been a chart, there's now just a shard, so you don't have to go find it.
Yeah, it's less of a grind.
And then you get to go down to Hyrule Castle for the second time.
What did they replace the Tingle Tuner with in HD?
The Tingle Bottle.
Yeah.
And that was solely for Miiverse. And some guy... Okay, so I had done the Knuckle quest.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a picture of Knuckle and I put it on the Miiverse so people could take that picture so they could take it to the Nintendo collection. Which
Yeah.
is poorly named because it's not a collection of Nintendo characters. It is a collection of characters from Wind Waker. You see, there's this whole side quest that's completely pointless.
Yeah.
If you take a picture of a character...
I know what you're talking about, and I've never done it. I'm never going
I
to
did
do
it.
it.
I did it.
It's awful.
It's so dumb. But if you take a picture of a character and then take it to this small island next to Forest Haven, there is a man who will carve these figurines of each of the characters. And the only way to get Knuckle is, you have to do the Knuckle quest.
Yep.
So I took a picture of him like, hey guys, look, it's Knuckle. And I'm like, okay, well, people are going to download this so they can, finish this quest or finish the Nintendo collection. And no shit, as I'm sailing, I pick up a message that is my picture of Knuckle from somebody else. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, okay, maybe they took a picture too, or maybe somebody else did. So I pulled them up side by side. I'm like, nope, this is mine. I'm like, I don't know how that worked out, but well, came back to me.
Damn. What goes around comes around. That's a good book.
But yeah, no, so that's the Nintendo collection that includes the bosses, and that's how you learn their names. If you don't, check the Zelda wiki.
Mhm.
Let's see. But yeah, no, you go down to Hyrule, and I know we didn't mention this before, but after you finish the Tower of the Gods, you go down there for the first time, you pull the Master Sword, and Ganon's like, haha, that was my plan.
And guess
Every
what?
time.
That sword is dull and not full of its original power.
The only thing that denotes that it's dull is the sides are...
Also, the gem's not lit up.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
it's
not
also-
blessed by the power of the gods.
It's also not radiating light.
Yeah, so...
And Fi is just like, what the
in,
fuck happened?
It's dull in what way, then? Because,
The light is very dull.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Like, it's not that it's not
At that point,
sharp.
It's not dull. It's just like it's not. It can't repel darkness.
At that point, it's just a sword.
it's
It's just a stronger sword than the one you have.
It's just a better sword.
it's not. It's not the sword of legend.
Man, Fi lives a rough life.
Fi is probably fighting for her life inside that sword at that point.
I doubt it.
I don't know about fighting. I just think she's just not having a good time. Although that doesn't compare to...
I can't wait
I need to
cry
stop
again.
bringing up every other Zelda game.
I can't wait to cry again when Fi leaves. It's spoiler. For Skyward Sword, it's 10 years old this year.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna cheer. I'm gonna be so sick of
I
her.
like Fi, but
When Fi leaves at the
Fi
end of
isn't
Skyward
in
Sword-
Wind Waker, so we don't need to talk about her yet.
When Fi leaves at the end of Skyward Sword, that shit is sad. Like, really fucking sad.
Yes, and we
Sure.
can talk about that in Skyward
We
Sword.
will.
Which I won't be here for unless it takes so long that Skyward Sword HD comes out.
It might, but anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now you've got the powered up Master Sword. Because it only takes 2 sages this time instead of like 6.
Yeah. When I think it
Fuck.
took all of them before.
Yeah, so you go over there and Ganon's like, meh, I'm Ganon, and then he
break the
turns into a
barrier.
giant puppet.
You break the barrier to the higher castle. Also, you gotta fight all the bosses again.
Oh, yes, and that's a good place to get a picture of them.
It's in black and white, too.
It's a good place to get a picture for them if you miss them. But,
You
yeah.
fight Phantom Ganon again and you get the light arrows.
You fight Phantom Ganon several times.
I actually, you know how the hilt of the sword points to the direction?
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that. I just guessed.
I
Until Wind Waker HD, when I was playing Wind Waker, like before HD came out, I just guessed until I got it right. I never knew that was actually how you did it.
I found that out in 4th grade when I was telling a friend. I'm like, yo, I don't understand how this works. He's like, it falls in the direction. I'm like, oh, that's what that line of dialogue meant when before I went in there. Because Link's got this little feature where, like, his eyes will dart to where something is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch his face, he'll occasionally, like, look to the left or the right or whatever. And that generally denotes, hey, there's something of interest over there.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is I just kind of like look at his face and be like, oh, he looked to the left like 3 times in a row. It must be the left door. That doesn't work. But yeah, so you fight Phantom Ganon like 20 times in the Hall of Darkness or whatever you want to call it. The Hall of Doors. And then, yeah, you get to fight Puppet Ganon, who's awful and bad and everything.
Yeah, he turns into a tarantula?
Yeah, he's first a big old puppet again, and then he turns into a spider, and then he turns into a snake.
I don't think it's a snake. I think is it a snake?
It's a snake.
Yeah, and he's hard as hell to hit.
He turns into a Dunsparce. A very fast Dunsparce.
Yes.
Well, they are supposed to be fast.
And then you finally climb the rope that was suspending Puppet Ganon, and you get to fight Ganon. With his tiny swords that he always has.
You fight Ganondorf, like...
No, he is Ganon. He's referred to as Ganon in that form.
In the final fight?
Yes.
That's... No.
That's how they refer to him.
That they're wrong.
That is how the King of Red Lions refers to him. He says, Ganon has returned.
Well, the king is wrong, because that's not... That's... They even referred to him in the beginning of the game as
Ganon.
Ganondorf.
No, he says Ganon. He does not say Ganondorf.
He's Ganon when he's in pig form.
He is. But he refers to him as Ganon. I hate to shatter your world, but man.
He's...
Anyway, the fun thing is Ganondorf has tiny swords. They are always in his palms.
It's a great fight, though. He actually deals massive damage. Because I played it on
Does
hero
he?
mode. Yeah, I think it's on normal mode, it's like 1 heart. I think and on hero mode, it's 2 hearts.
Oh boy.
So yeah, if you're not dodge rolling,
The thing about that fight is, though, You don't play Dead Man's Volley with him.
For once.
Instead, you play, hey Zelda, please shoot me in the face.
I think it's the only game where you don't play Dead Man's Volley with him.
Can't you distract him with the fishing pole?
No, not in
There's no
not in
fishing
Wind
pole in
Waker.
Wind Waker.
Oh.
No, it's Twilight Princess. You can distract him with the fishing pole.
That's so fucking weird.
You see, so there's a little piece of lore in Wind Waker that the Great Sea, you just can't live in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like fish don't live in the Great Sea, aside from Fishman.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Like the goddesses were like, yo, there's a reason why you Zoras gotta become birds, so you can't live in the water anymore. You Gorons are fine though.
Yeah, you just stay there.
You're basically rocks. You're sentient rocks. Nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Can't believe we haven't even talked about like the fact that half the plot of the game is that you got to rescue your sister who gets kidnapped by Ganon, excuse me.
Yeah, all because of Tetra.
And that a pirate turns out to be Zelda.
Yeah.
Yep.
All because of Tetra.
And
It's
then,
literally because of Tetra, yeah.
and then thankfully they turn her back into Tetra, who was a way better character.
Do you know that final scene is the only pre-rendered scene in the game?
Really?
Everything else is done.
I like that final scene.
Everything else is done in engine except for the after you float back up. Because if you play it through New Game Plus with the hero's costume, the invisible clothes, you're switched back to the green tunic
Oh.
because it's pre-rendered.
One of my favorite characters is who's the pirate that gives you the bombs?
Oh, damn it. What's his name? Nico?
Yeah, I think it's Nico. I almost said Nito, but that's Dark Souls.
I don't know. I'm more of a Gonzo man myself.
Gonzo's pretty cool. He's
Except
like,
Gonzo
you can't
doesn't-
go into Tetra's quarters.
Gonzo doesn't do anything.
And then you see like something. I think you see like a Triforce or like something. It's
Yeah, there's a whole Triforce map, and there's some foreshadowing in there when you go there to get
Like,
bombs.
you're like, what the fuck is this? Why is this in here?
I'm raiding your dresser. I'm out.
Yep. Okay. Well, I said this is my
I
third.
made
favorite.
that weird, but whatever.
I said this is my third favorite Zelda game. I love it. It's a great game.
Yeah, no, it's
It's top tier
good.
Zelda.
It's real good.
It's hated on by some groups.
I don't think it is as much these days.
It's not these days, but there's people that don't like it.
That's fine. They can all... Actually, King K is one of them.
He doesn't like Wind Waker?
Not very much.
No.
He loves Twilight Princess.
Ugh. Ugh.
He's got good taste.
He adores Majora's Mask.
He's also got good taste. I like King K. There's a reason I'm subscribed to him.
Skyward Sword, he's kind of ambivalent on. Doesn't think it's great. Ocarina thinks it's pretty good. Breath of the Wild, he thought was pretty good with some flaws. Link to the Past, he thought was
About the same.
Anyways, so
Ready to give it some rankings?
yeah, let's give it some score, I guess.
Alright. I'm going to give it a 9.
I would also give it a 9.
18.
Yeah, it's up there with Ocarina of Time.
And Majora's Mask.
I would ask you, but again, you are a guest, and I do not
I can give.
I do not want you screwing over our scores.
I'm not going to screw over your score. My score will mean nothing.
I can't believe you gave it a 0 out of 10. What the fuck, Phil?
Yeah, it's crazy. No, I
I guess if you want to give it a number, I'll put it off to the side in like quotes or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to hold on to it. It can just be on the recording. I don't give a shit. I personally give it about an 8 because, like, I can feel the linearity despite the giant ocean that you have to explore. So it's not Breath of the Wild amazing, but
Oh
I
boy, I
enjoy
can't
it.
wait till we get to that one. That one's gonna be real fun.
Breath of the Wild's going to be a great talk. I can't wait for that too.
because all it's gonna be is stories, which is kind of cool. Because we all had a unique adventure.
The thing I like about Wind Waker is it for the game's hub, just for literally being an ocean, it does a really good job at not feeling empty. Like, there's a lot of things to just go and do and collect.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of it is just either get into a fight.
It's literally like just like an ocean map with just like tiles, and each tile is something.
Each tile has its own unique island that sometimes does a thing and sometimes it doesn't.
It's like a weird 3D interpretation of the Zelda 1 map.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can like go to a volcano and shoot it with an ice arrow.
And that does something?
That freezes the volcano
There's also
for like 6 minutes.
there's also an ice island.
Yeah, and you can shoot that with a fire arrow.
Yep. There's also an island that's had a huge gust of wind. Guess what you need there?
The Megaton hammer knows the boots.
You also need a hammer to stop the wind.
Yeah, you get the skull hammer, which is way cooler than the Megaton hammer.
It is. I like skull hammer.
It's a hammer with a skull.
Cool.
You use it to
really
Oh,
beat up a
selling it.
bird.
Wouldn't even talk about the pig that you like. You get the power bracelets so you can carry giant pigs.
A giant pig that is presumably a cannibal.
Well, yeah, you can also like
You
attack
see,
the pig and it'll kill you.
so there's a small side quest at the very beginning of the game where there's a family. There's the dad's like, I'm gonna hunt down these wild pigs and we're gonna make them like our pets.
Okay.
And so there's 3 pigs on the island. You can return each of them. You can take each of them back for 20 rupees. But when you come back to the island, 2 of the pigs are gone, and one of the pig is now like 8 times bigger than it was before.
Oh my god.
And it's also named after you.
Yep.
Oh,
You're named after a cannibal.
It's great.
No, the cannibal's named after you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If you were named after the cannibal, that would mean the pig came first.
Which came first, the pig or the link?
The pig or the link?
And
The eternal question.
to be honest, it's one of the few. It's one of the better things that are named after you, and not, like
That fucking Goron?
there's 2 Gorons named after you. Honestly,
Are you fucking kidding me?
yeah, there's one in Majora's Mask. You steal his hotel room
Yeah.
because you have his name.
His name's Link Goro.
Oh god.
And the best thing is, his name's Link or whatever you name yourself.
Yeah.
But he's got the tendency to add Goro to the end of his sentences.
No.
So when the innkeeper's like, so what's your name? He's like, my name is Link Goro.
Oh god.
And they're like, well, we've got a name on there that's similar, but it's not that one. So
He asks no questions. He's just like, well, it's a nice night out. I'll just go outside and sleep.
guess I'm camping outside.
And then when you're in that side of Clocktown, you just hear him snore for the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I love it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I found it was. I guess we're already talking about Majora, but I found it crazy. I didn't expect that that most of the townsfolk know that the moon's going to crash into the planet.
Yeah, and they're like,
And-
festival.
and everyone's trying to deal with it, and I'm just like, this game's fucking dark.
Yeah, and then on the final day, you got the carpenter's like, yo, we put all this shit together. We are doing a party.
We're staying for this party.
And all the guards are like, yo, we can't guard against that moon.
The moon's like
we
literally-
have spears and short shorts. That moon's gonna fuck us up.
I personally love when you go into the mayor's office and they're just all bitching about it.
Yeah, the mayor's just finally like, oh, somebody got married. Well, I guess
The mayor's just like, everybody shut up.
yeah. So it's resolved by like, oh yeah, so somebody got married, I guess. We should all live our lives the way we want to. If you want to run, go and run. If you want to stay, stay. I'm out of here. Peace. Outie.
Don't you?
And then you get a heart piece. And then they all die.
Don't you
The
hook
end.
up a lady with? I mean, he was a full-grown
Yes,
man.
you
but-
do
Reunite
that.
them.
Yeah, that's one of
Skull Kid.
resolving the mayor's issue is one of your rewards for
Skull
doing
Kid
that
turns
whole quest.
him into a kid, and then a thief named Sakan steals his mask.
Ooh,
It's a huge side quest. It's like literally like 5% of the game.
damn.
Yeah, and there's 2 whole rewards for it, meaning you had to do it twice.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I think there's a way to get both.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I will report back.
And it is punishing if you fuck it up.
Okay.
All right. I can report back on that.
Thank you for
Not-
listening to us talk about Wind Waker.
And other games.
Yep. We talk about Zelda all the time here. Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.